Hi, my name is Shane. I use she, her pronouns, and my Twitter handle is @Shane_Marble. This is the third and final in a series of what was going to be 4 sessions of Visigoths versus Mall Goths. Unfortunately, I had something come up last week and couldn't run the game. So we're going to finish up this week, hopefully in spectacular fashion. These games were all organized through the Gauntlet gaming calendar. If you would like to come play some games with us, check out what the Gauntlet is about. You can go to gauntlet-rpg.com and learn all about it. I'm going to ask the players to introduce themselves now. We have another player, Joe, who hopefully will be joining us soon, having a little cat drama right now. I think we are all saying small prayers for Joe's cat to be all right. But yeah, I'll just go around, I guess the order that you're on the character keeper, ask you to introduce yourselves, your name, your pronoun, anything you want to tell us about yourself, and just introduce your character a little bit as well so we are reminded who we're playing with. So, Mendel, do you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, my name's Mendel. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Telly, who is a cyber pet rabbit who uses they, them pronouns and is perhaps most noteworthy for being periodically either a human or a rabbit in the context of the film that is this game.
Thank you. Alfgiver, Brandon, do you want to introduce yourself, or the two of you? Sorry, you're muted.
Hi, I'm Brandon. My character is Elfgiva, she who is a Visigoth trying her best, rather than adapt to the modern world, to bring Visigothic virtues to it in the process of taking over the mall and therefore thereafter Los Angeles. She's been brought up short a little bit on that regard. By falling in love with one of the Mall Goths, who she finds incredibly mysterious and seductive, notwithstanding their cultural divide.
All right. So, unfortunately, Jamie has vanished from the stream right after. Yeah, right after typing that they're on a 10-year-old laptop, so things might get wonky. If it's okay, I'll just give it a few minutes, and hopefully they rejoin us.
This is what relying on magic gets you.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I mean,
I'm suspicious of magicians.
I'm using a 9-year-old laptop, so I understand, and it died last time.
Mine can't be much younger than that.
I can actually date it back because mine dates back to when Hurricane Sandy hit New York. I had to buy it because I got stranded because of the storm. So
yeah, right. Oh my God.
You see, this is the virtue of spears. Spear technology is a very mature and well understood one that is unlikely to go wrong at a critical moment.
Yep, and you use drums with them, which is the origin of percussive maintenance, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Jamie's just emailed to say they've lost the internet and are trying to get back on. So hopefully the sorcery will come together momentarily. How have your weeks been?
Busy. I'm in the process of buying a house.
Yeah, right.
And so dealing with the mountain of documentation that goes with that little life's adventure. Just the loan is 25 documents and counting.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh God.
Well, they want to know. They want to know, everything about that could possibly impinge on my credit history, including things that happened 25 years ago.
Oh wow.
Well, no, I mean they say it's like,
yeah,
was this was, were you ever at, did you ever, live at this address? And I went, yeah, back in the 1980s.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I don't know why. Why is that? Why is that conceivably relevant to my current situation? I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's back.
All right. If I
Oh,
do
there you
end
go.
up, if I do end up posting this, I'll cut out the part on the video where you talk about your homeblown and dodgy 1980s activities. Thank you. Jamie, do you want to introduce yourself and your character?
Yeah. So hi, my name is Jamie. I use they them pronouns. I live in the Philippines. It has weird internet sometimes. So and I'm playing Umbra, who also uses they them pronouns. Umbra is a Mall Goth, also a witch and goth punk. I think I'm doing goth punk. I don't want to say well, but with passion, with interest. Yeah. Ooh, I get to refresh my once per day without rolling. I better mark that. So once per day without rolling, I can ask someone an emotional question and they must answer with their true feelings. Yeah, and things are getting interesting for Umbra. There's like a Romeo and Juliet situation going on with Elfgiva. So there's that. But yeah, that's Umbra.
Well, yeah, so I wanted to ask both of you about that. Obviously, there is the kind of burgeoning romance. How do you think that's got, like, between sessions? Some time has gone by. In fact, the mall was closed briefly after a fire, um, accounting for the week off in the middle of our series. How is the relationship coming along between Umbra and Elfgiver? Um, I'm happy with almost any answer you can give me here, except for happily with no problems.
Why this sounds like a therapy session, but
Well, yeah, somewhat confrontational therapy. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. How's the relationship going? And don't tell me it's going fine.
Exactly.
I was thinking that it was still in the puppy love phase of things. So it was going happily because we were completely ignoring any problems. But reality is about to give us a bitch slap.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I'm happy to hear whatever Jamie thinks.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think I like the idea of introducing other gods who have been trying to get in the way and disrupt things.
Yes,
And so Umbra. Oh, sorry, what?
Yes, all of them.
Yeah, exactly. And so I wonder if we have to spend a lot of time dodging and finding places where we can hang out without, but I do think that Umbra is not in a good place with the other goths because of it.
Likewise, my own charlatan probably thinks that I've gone soft.
And Tally, how do you feel about Umbra dating the enemy or whatever's going on?
Yeah, it would be tempting to say that I'm oblivious to it, but I don't think I am. I think I'm probably stressed and covering for Umbra.
Oh, nice.
Possibly covering for them even to the, in ways that they don't know about.
Oh, you're being escape bunny.
Just like filling in some things to the other goths when, they're not around, but they're asking me, while I'm helping somebody fix their computer.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that seems like a good dynamic. So we're going to start the day again in Chili Joe's Cyber Cafe. Let me just check that I have Floppy Joe. I knew I got there in the end. Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili internet cafe with tasty snacks and cayenne encrusted keyboards. Neutral ground. No other goths around right now. It's the early morning. Umbra, you feel a little more stressed than normal this morning. You had a strange dream last night. Not only strange, but portentous. It's actually the second time you've had a sort of premonition in the form of a dream. Last time, you woke up, you could tell there was something special about this dream, and then almost immediately it came true. What was that previous dream premonition that you had?
Ooh, I want to say it was. I'm trying to remember. The premise is who started the time portal situation in the mall that got us in this.
Oh, I think it was a Mall Goth with a Ouija board, was it not?
Yeah. I think I dreamt about that happening, and I saw the Visigoths coming through, and I was like, "Oh, that's a weird dream. I must have had too much chili last night." Right? Time travel. What is? And then it happened. Right.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's perfect. So last night you had another disturbing dream about the mall, and there was a quality to it that really reminded you of that earlier premonitory dream. In this dream, it was today, Halloween, and the mall burnt to the ground. There was a fire recently. Strange to dream of it happening again. But yes, you have the oddest feeling that the mall is going to burn down today. And, well, I don't know if you feel that only you can stop it, or that you would want to stop it, or that you want to watch it burn, want to get some marshmallows, but that is how you start your day here in the Cyber Cafe.
Wow, I think the old Umbra would have been happy to buy marshmallows and make an event out of it. But I think Umbra's so attached to the mall now because it's where they met Elfgiva and everything, and so now they're going to try to figure out what's going on. I think when Umbra wakes up, there's a moment where, okay, we're in the 90s. Okay, get an email. I'll email. So I go to my computer and it looks like I'm going to, I open up the email and I'm about to email Telly to say what happened, but instead I erase it and I try to email Elfgiva instead to warn her about what's going on.
Elfgiva, your charlatan hasn't even arrived at the mall yet this morning, and you've just received this. I don't know. How do you feel about this email?
A portent that the mall might burn down. Terrified. Portents are never to be ignored. And if the mall burns down, we can't conquer it.
I think that stands to reason.
Yeah, but this whole pillage and burn thing actually only applies to your enemies, to areas that you're trying to deny your enemies, which in this case is not the case. So I am I'm going to be somewhat climbing the walls until Umbra shows up. Clutching onto my checking my various holy symbols and protective tattoos to make sure that they're all in proper order, and sharpening my spear, thinking about perhaps acquiring a amount just in case warfare should break out. But a giant fire. Oh, that sounds that either portends invasion or perhaps the loosing of demons, or my charlatan on a very, very bad day. So I'm worried that he hasn't shown up, because usually, sometimes when he hasn't shown up, that means he is afraid to show up. And so I'm going to I will email Umber back and say this is of direst importance. We must act. What should we do? I will await you here.
And Tally, how are you feeling about this portentous mall burning down possibility?
I mean, I haven't been told about it yet.
I feel free to hear me muttering about it. Not quite under my breath.
Okay. So that sounds to me like I am now concerned that the Visigoths are going to burn down the mall for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That sounds like what Elfgiva is discussing. I mean, I'm aware that Elfgiva might have that she might have some misgivings about that plan because of her getting close to Umbra, and so perhaps Elfgiva is she's fraught with guilt over this nefarious Visigoth plan. I mean, that would be where my mind would go immediately. Being fraught with guilt. It seems very apt, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So
cool.
I am concerned about who are these nefarious Visigoths who are planning this mass arson.
Well, let me just mention there is also a new faction in the mall, and it could be that you also worry about them, either as allies of the Visigoths or as potential malefactors in their own right.
Well, that would send me in a whole different direction.
Oh my god!
Yes.
So all of you know that right around the time of the last fire, some new kids arrived in town. Neither Mall Goth nor Visigoth. This new crew, who call themselves metalheads and listen to ridiculously heavy music, have begun staking out their own territory at the mall. The question for the Mall Goths: do these new kids scare you, or do you just think they're trying way too hard?
I think Umbra doesn't know how to recognize danger, so I think they think that they're just trying too hard.
Nice.
And their fashion sense is just atrocious.
Yeah. There's a rumor that one of them might have been seen drinking pig's blood out of a large-sized slushy cup. But there's also been Halloween-themed drinks during October, so maybe it was just one of those. Tally, what do you think of these metalheads?
Okay, I have to admit, my mind has immediately gone to the idea that they it's not so much that their music is heavy, but the records they play it on are like made out of solid metal. So literally, like, they can only carry 2 or 3 at a time. But that's probably not. I mean, that's where Telly goes immediately with this. But I think I've been avoiding them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't so much have an opinion as I am concerned. They don't seem to follow even the level of etiquette that the Visigoths do. Who at least understand general politeness. And I don't know. I just it's distressing. Yeah. And they've got spiky bits, and they're not very good about keeping to their side of the aisle when they rush through the halls of the mall. So
yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And Elfgiver, Do you think these new kids are posers, or are they potentially your sort of modern day counterparts, or even maybe descendants?
Oh, not at all. They're complete part. They're parvenus and they're enemies. They are the what would be they're the Rus or something like that.
Yeah.
The Eastern invader. They're not even Norse. they're Magyars. There we go. Foreigners from the east who are trying to horn in on civilized people's proper territories.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty sure that those bone necklaces aren't even made of real bone.
No, not at all. Although it does, their predilection for spiked accoutrements does make me armor up.
Nice.
So I am I'm wearing my mail and I'm carrying a shield and my spear, and I am making sure they keep their distance.
So, given
waiting for my darling Umbra to show up so that you can decide what to do.
Yeah, so I think that Umbra might arrive at the cafe around now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a moment where out of the cute little backpack that has like bat wings on it, there's like a telltale fabric of the prep uniform that they're hiding, and they realize it and like push it deeper into the bag and close everything up. And I think Umbra only has eyes for Elkiba and like rushes over, then remembers that they shouldn't rush over and slows down to walk in a more cool, collected fashion, forgets that and rushes over again, and sits next to Elkiba and say, "Hey, did you get my email?" Like,
yes, I am very disturbed. Portents are never to be ignored, and especially coming from a potent witch as yourself, I find them very disturbing. I think it must, perhaps it is these interlopers, these illiterate Easterners.
Oh, the metalheads, right? Yeah. Well, I mean,
they'd
have to.
Many demons they have brought in their inscrutable Eastern ways.
And I think, is Telly nearby, like seeing this play out? Because I think poor Umbra, who is such a bad friend, is just completely like.
I'm definitely in is it Floppy Joe's?
Mm-hmm.
So I am overhearing this. Yes.
Are you in bunny form or?
Yeah, I'm probably using my nose to operate the computer or to click buttons on the keyboard.
And I think we're going to be joined by another Visigoth right about now. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for carrying on in my temporary absence. Fortunately, it was not as temporary as I thought it would be. So, yay!
I'll get an enormous sigh.
Right.
Yes.
It's like you can't.
Oh no, we lost Jamie. Oh well.
Dang it!
Yeah,
so
it's going to be one of those days.
But the important thing is the cat is okay, right?
Yes, the cat is okay.
Good.
Do we have a second for a story?
Sure.
We're waiting. We're waiting for him to get back. So,
yeah, this cat is about 8 months old, and it belongs to my partner's other partners. So she's not always around in this area. So she decided to get out. She's like, "Hey, let's go exploring," and she spent a good half an hour like running us from tree to tree to tree. Like, I like this tree now. I'm gonna go over like this tree now. I like this tree now. I like this tree now. And we did finally eventually coax her into settling down. It took like somebody else who was a cat owner and like their cat coming out, and I don't know, they had a conversation, and the young cat was like, okay, fine. The funniest part, would you like to know the name of this kitten? The name of this kitten that spent a half an hour, this trickster kitten, if you will. Loki. Never
I
let
had
him.
a feeling when you said trickster.
Never
We
heard
are-
any kittens, things like that.
We are never letting him live that one down.
Joe, can I get you to introduce yourself for the recording?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Joe. My pronouns are he, him. I have a partner who has another partner who has a cat.
What's the cat's name?
Named Loki. Yeah, and I am playing Cole, the charlatan Visigoth who is a soft boy, and he just wants everybody to get along, preferably under the leadership of Elfgiva, because so far Elfgiva is the best person to rule everything. I mean, obviously, she will tell you that's the case.
Mm. So just a couple of things that you will know as you arrive at the mall this morning. You walk into Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili to see Umbra, Elfgiver, and I think Tally joining them, all talking together. You know that the mall recently was closed briefly after a fire. You know, right around the time of that fire, a new group of teenagers started hanging out at the mall, the Metalheads. Elfgiver has reliably informed you that you should not trust them, that they are fake, that they're posers, that they that they are in no way on your level. But you walk in, you see them having a conversation. How do you arrive, or how do you greet your friend?
Well, I definitely have a moment of like, I'm not sure I like them all talking together. This makes me very nervous. I'm the one that's supposed to be scheming behind everyone's back, and now everyone's scheming behind my back.
There you are.
I like this. Hello, Elfgiver. Hi. Hello.
Elfgiva backs Joe up against the wall with her spear. And he goes, "You aren't planning to set any fires, are you? Here in the mall?"
Oh, here in the mall? No, not here in the mall. No, not at all. No.
Good. I didn't think you'd show your face if you were.
I sort of try and push the spear out of the just.
I release you from the wall.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. There's been a terrible portent. Umbra.
Oh. And
Umbra's had an awful dream, and we have to do something about it.
Yes, Umbra's had an awful dream, and we need to do something about it. Yes. All right. Well, let's talk about this dream and what we should do about it. Yes.
And I think this is the moment when the film changes, like everything goes dark. It's just this light across Umbra's eyes. Their eyes start glowing, and their hair is like moving up like the craft like.
Oh no! Umbra has vanished. It seems like this might happen a few times today. The three of you are left standing in Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili. Back. Hang on.
I grabbed.
My internet hates StreamYard.
No.
But yeah, and so Umbra quickly, like, I think like the way they describe the dream, it has this sort of like biblical nature to it, like describing the flames consuming the mall whole, and there being great suffering and pain. But there's no like other details like who started it or what's going on.
Yeah.
The attempts to get everyone in this game playing at the same time today are just absolutely cursed.
I turned off my camera.
Yeah, that's fine, of course.
To conserve people's bandwidth.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps any, but
I'll see if that helps one with me as well.
Oh yeah, maybe I should do that.
It's very strange when I'm staring at a series of white circles. That's okay. If it helps, then that's great. All right.
Alfida holds up a package and says, I had been all set to commemorate this important religious festival with a gift, and now I don't know if I should.
Is there a religious festival I'm perhaps not aware of yet?
Oh, it's of course you do, she says, thumping you on the back in a genial but forceful fashion.
Yes, of course.
It's Valpurgisnacht.
Yes, of course, that one.
Halloween or something.
Oh, yes, that one. Yes, of course. Well, it's not the one with the hearts. We already did that one. That's the is that the one where we all eat pancakes?
No.
I'll remember it in a minute. We should go on.
This is the one when dead things walk the earth and terrorize, and all good, sensible folks stay at home or go out in strong, well-fortified bands.
Yes.
When draugrs stalk the night, and actually, there's a draugr here at the mall, isn't there? Maybe we could go ask them.
And if there's a draugr here at the mall, we should ask them. I mean, back in the old days, it seems like that was every other Wednesday, but it's only one day a year here. I must say that's an improvement.
No, I think Brick and Mortal has a draugr, I think. Or do they just work? Do they just work for draugrs? That was unclear. We should go visit them.
So the Visigoths.
At any rate, so a portentous dream on this night, which Umbra was about to tell us about, is particularly frightening.
Oh, did my description not get through when I was describing the dream?
I think we got cut off.
Okay, okay.
As we were watching you, you vanished, which caused us great fear and torment until we found you again.
Absolutely. And so I think I like the idea of Umbra just suddenly reappearing again with the shadow and ash all around, like their hands smeared in that ash for a moment before it flickers and it's gone. And Umbra describes in a biblical fashion, like using words in a voice that is not normal, not their own, to describe the flames that will consume the mall pole and leave nothing in its wake. But there are no details about who's behind it or what's going on. Like, it kind of feels like very prophecy Bible-like, right? No helpful details.
I must say you're very good at this prophecy thing. I'm quite impressed.
I think Umbra will blush at that. Oh, thank you. I've been working on that part of the grimoire.
Elfgiver, you mentioned a gift. Do you give the gift to Umbra, or you're going to hold on to it for now?
I suppose I should just still give it. I would dislike not to honor this important festival, and I understand that it's not ordinarily doesn't begin until sunset, but given the circumstances when sunset may never come, I guess I should give it to you now.
Oh, another gift? Oh, Elfgiver, you shouldn't have. And Umbra's like deeply blushing and trying to hide how happy they are, because it's very unbecoming for a goth to be so openly happy all the time.
This so cute.
It's wrapped in parchment.
Oh, can I open it now?
I do not see why not. It is of a personal nature, but you're among friends.
Oh, I mean, sure. And so I open the gift. What do I find?
It's a gift from Othvold's Secret. So it is it's a black leather negligee with fur trim, which is probably made of rabbit.
Cole looks at the gift for perhaps a little bit too long, and then immediately is like looking away and looking like anywhere and everywhere but at Elfgiva and Umbra, like, okay.
I'm just throwing a little bit of side eye. Just a little bit of side eye. Because sure, it's gotta be rabbit fur. And it's like, this is only going to make this more complicated. You know, my hand didn't used to twitch like this. My nose did, but not my hand. Not my hand. It's harder to type that way.
I don't know if Telly notices this, but Cole for the last several minutes has had his face frozen in a very friendly smile, but one eye is definitely like twitching. It's just like, this is not good.
And I think Umbra does not help by saying, "This fur is so soft and familiar, but I love it."
So at this point, Floppy Joe will wander by. For Halloween, he is dressed as Steve Urkel, and he does his best Steve Urkel impression. Did I do that? I can't. Something like that. And he kind of giggles at his own joke, and then he says, it's good to see all you kids getting along for a change. God damn it. And he sort of angrily stomps over to a nearby computer, and he yells, "One of those damn metalheads didn't even pay or log off before he left the cafe." You can see that whatever the metalhead was doing is still visible online. And Floppy Joe is about to shut the computer down.
I can take care of that.
You wanna talk, Joe? So you're gonna have to roll for this. You're gonna try and like race him to it. You're gonna try and like convince him to let you do it. What do you want to do?
Yeah, convince him to let me do it. This is hacking technology, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Right. So I think I have a +2 on that.
Nice. And I want to embarrass myself to help.
How so?
Well, so my embarrassing thing is that I'm a bad dancer. So immediately at this point, the solid stone cold classic by Genesis, "I Can't Dance," comes on over the speakers, and Cole is like, "Well, this is my moment." "Joe, you said you were going to teach me how to do this dance." And I stand up and I start. If you haven't seen the video, the dance is basically, imagine somebody thrusting their right hand and right foot forward, and then their left hand, then their left foot forward, and then their right hand, and then their left hand, and calling that a dance. Now imagine somebody who can't dance trying to do that.
Amazing. So, Tally, it seems like your moment. Go ahead and roll.
I'm sorry. I have to either log into the dice program or I have to roll some physical dice. Up to you.
Well, I mean, whatever's good for you. Whatever's easiest.
Yeah, I'm also going to roll physical dice for the sake of my internet.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So 7 plus, I believe, 2 plus another 2 from the embarrassment.
3 from the embarrassment, even.
Oh, 3. Oh, wow. So that's a flat, a solid 12.
Well, that's against a big 4 from the mall rat, so you succeed.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're hacking, like I imagine even that you jump onto one of the computers that's free, and there's a montage of you with computer graphics like simulated all around your head, like floating through space like the Lawnmower Man, and you get to what's on that computer, through the net before Cyber Joe.
Mhm.
Floppy Joe, sorry, shuts it down. And what you see is an America Online search. And what they searched for, what this metalhead searched for, was what does the devil like to eat?
Oh. Okay.
And a range of searches, I guess you can find in the search history relating to how one makes the devil comfortable, what the devil likes, things like that.
So, I mean, Umber, I have to ask: did your vision involve any physical incarnations of the Christian devil?
I appreciate how you specified which devil, right? That's very.
I mean, I don't know. That's the only one I've ever heard of.
I think.
Complete amateur.
Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, sorry. Cole mutters under his breath about how the Christian devil's a complete amateur.
Perfect.
Right.
I think there's a moment where like Umbra has like a flashback, and it suspiciously looks like the devil from Legend, that movie with Tom Cruise, right? So, oh no, we lost Tilly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But definitely Umbra is concerned at the mention of the devil, and did I hear that right? Like someone was trying to research information about how to appease the devil?
That the metalheads are expecting the devil as a guest, like as a visitor that they're going to be hanging out with, or attending a party or something.
I look at Cole, who mentioned the devil being an amateur. And I think, is there something you know about the possibility of the devil being a guest?
Well, I'm pretty certain. I mean, listen, I don't want to insult anybody's religion, but let's be honest, the devil doesn't exist. I mean, obviously, he's just a mashup of all of our demons that we've had. I mean, I'm sure Elgiva can tell you how the devil was originally a Visigoth creation. But the horns are obviously from Pan, and the red skin is obviously from the fire giants. I mean, it's all there if you look for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Umbra is like very silently thinking about all those pages from the Found Grimoire that talk about the devil, and just goes and nods, looking at Elgiva. Yeah, totally, absolutely. It's not true at all, right?
So the Christians show a significant deficit in imagination and having only one adversary, but that doesn't mean that there couldn't be a puissant demon that they call the devil. Certainly the fire giants and such like that, who would be considered devils, are in fact all right-thinking people's enemy.
Absolutely, yes.
Of course. And if these metalheads are giant worshippers, then they could cause great devastation, no matter by what name they give the abomination they seek to have converse with or appease.
Absolutely, we cannot suffer giant worshippers to live. No, that would be awful. That would certainly interrupt the taking over of Los Angeles.
Perhaps the music of theirs is just the clashing together of the huge clubs that the giants use.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would suddenly make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? And the wailing and the screeching is like the sounds of the damned. Oh yes.
I think
Suddenly
the term is the beast up in the hills.
Do fire giants often live in hills? Yes. No, normally it's hill giants that live in hills, but you know.
So the early morning time slot is winding up. Alfgiva, you mentioned that you might want to go to Brick and Mortal. Is that what the Visigoths are thinking for later in the morning?
Well, I understand that they know something about the Draugr, and this is a time of the year when the dead walk, as I understand. If this calendar is to be, this modern calendar is to have credence. Isn't that right, Umbra? Do I have the festival right?
I think because Algiva was talking so much, Umbra lost track of the conversation and was just staring with their head in their hands. Oh, what, darling? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, a fata worse than death might not be a bad place to go either.
So.
Oh yes, well, they're researching what the devil, what this so-called devil of theirs might eat.
I'm certain the devil loves cheese.
Especially cheese made from goats.
Yes, of course. Perhaps we should divide our forces. I think the War Master and I would be best served going to the Brick and... No, I think we would be best... What do you think, War Leader? The cheese shop or the Brick and Mortar? I honestly, I'm not sure.
I would think.
I mean, Hail Satin might also know something.
Yes.
As I look through my copy of...
Umbra, will you accompany your son to one of these places?
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the idea of being separated from Algiva, like Umbra's a little, sad about it, but doesn't want to show it. Yeah, absolutely. Tully and I can.
Or my charlatan could go with your animal totem.
Oh, I mean, Telly wouldn't mind. I'm sure Telly would love to do that.
Telly, do you react to that?
Yes, it's decided then. We will go to... Umbra and I will go to this
okay.
to this place where they make cheese from goats. And Cole, do you take the shaman to either the place of Draugrs or the demonic Beth article emporium?
Yes, absolutely, War Leader. It shall be done.
Tally, where are you thinking that you will try and lead Cole?
I feel like Hail Satin is probably the first place that we should check. Also, it's, Mall Goth loyal. So just in case Cole decides to stab me in the back, it's a little safer. Just saying.
I would think the same thing.
That reminds me, I just want to ask about Cole's relationship with Fritz from Dracula Video. Is that a going concern, or what happened there?
It is not. By this time, we are exes. I don't know how Fritz feels about it, but Cole is probably sort of doing the 90s like, no, you must forget me. No, you must move on. No, seriously, you must move on. Move on. Move on.
Fair. All right. Well, and the other thing that I'd like to ask you all, I should have asked this at the start. Are any of you currently wearing Halloween costumes? Did you come to the mall dressed for Halloween? See that Cole did not.
I think Cole is not wearing a Halloween costume. However, Cole is dressed in his usual fare, which could sort of be considered a Halloween costume. So
yeah. Elfgiver, what about you?
Well, this is an occasion in which one is supposed to put on an unusual garb of some sort. Yes, to frighten away the spirits. So I'm thinking that Elfgiva. She's got her chainmail shirt on underneath it, but she's for Umbra, she's decked out as a goth.
Oh my!
Yeah, so she's in black leather with the black eye makeup and.
Wow. Umbra, how do you like this look on Elfgiver?
The truth is, Elfgiver could be wearing a potato sack, and I think it would be amazing. But I particularly like this look. I think it takes the whole scene for Umbra to like soak it all in, right? But yeah, absolutely happy with it. I think Umbra's doing the same though, where they're dressing up more like a Visigoth, like so there's like this blood smear across the eyes with like wild hair and different furs that Umbra got her dad to buy because Umbra tried to hunt and it didn't go well. There were only rats in the mall.
And Elfgiver, do you appreciate this look on Umbra?
Elfgiva is it's all she can do not to pant.
All right. And
yeah, she's it's taking all of her Visigoth fortitude not to drool.
Nice. Shall we roll for that? Why don't you roll to see if you withhold your drool?
All right.
Oh, this might be my chance to finally win a roll.
It might be. I got a 6.
And I got a 7. The mole rat finally succeeds, and we see just the slightest, the little hint of saliva trickling down.
Elfgiva is taken by your outfit. I don't know if you've tied back your hair with a piece of rawhide or there's just the bones and the blood and things like that, and she's she is clearly distracted.
And Tally, that was quite something to follow. But do you have a Halloween costume?
Oh yeah, no, I have a gorilla costume.
Nice.
I have holes in the rubber gorilla mask for my ears.
Of course.
so that when it goes. But I'm mostly not wearing the mask. I'm mostly just carrying the mask around with me. But I am, in the. I have a, I have the gorilla like chest suit set up and the furry leggings, but yeah. But otherwise, and to be clear, in full on bunny form, that's the bunny is always peeking out of the mask, usually from the bottom of the mask, and you just don't see the rest of the costume at all. It's like the bunny is hiding inside of the mask and looking out either through the eye holes or as I said, looking out from the bottom of the mask.
All right. That is absolutely perfect. What a scene. Let's take a break here. We'll come back in 10 minutes, if that's good for everyone. All right. I'll see you in a little bit.
I'm so glad that you were able to get the kitten though.
Me too. I was afraid that we were going to run around all night, but by the time I got there, they'd found the kitten. It was just a matter of getting her.
Perfect.
So maybe we'll start with Umbra and Elfgiver, and Telly can join us, and we'll pick up Telly and Cole when they're back. So the two of you head to a fetter worse than death. Let me through. You see the dark mahogany coffins that lie open throughout the store, each revealing an array of fine cheeses. And you see Judith, a Mall Goth, or at least loyal to the Mall Goths, a 16-year-old white Jewish girl. She sees the two of you come in, and she looks agog to see Umbra the Visigoth and Elfgiver the Mall Goth. The confusion is plain across her face. Uh, 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 uh,
Hi,
she
Judith. And I
Greetings. I
okay.
am rebelling against my parents and generally full of ennui.
Can I help you?
Judith, have you seen the metalheads around here lately? Anything weird? And like Umbra has pointedly not stopped holding Elkiva's hand, even though they should let go of the hand at this point.
I think that Judith will tell you that the metalheads are banned from this store. Last time they come in here was right before the big fire in the mall. They picked a fight, knocked over some of the coffins, and shouted a "Hail Satan" a bunch of times.
Does Satan require the cheese? Did the cheese offend them?
I don't know. They just it was that kid. What's his name? Terrorizer. He just seemed to want to cause trouble and be a menace. You know what those
He
metalheads are like.
Yes,
calls himself Terrorizer?
they're like
We
mega.
are trying too hard.
They build nothing. They're just thieves, and destroyers.
Well, they're really annoying. I know that much.
Terrorizer. All right. Maybe we should yeah, we should take a and then I look at Elfgiva. Maybe we should go to the back and take a closer look at the cheese, that was affected by the attack. And I'm like suggesting in the dark, in private, away from people.
Of course, that makes entire sense to me. Your suggestion.
Judith will call out a warning as you head that way. She's like, "Hey, that's okay, but just watch out. We've got some Medusa Gorgonzola back there. It can turn you to stone, so just watch out."
You have cheese that can turn you into stone in this place.
This could be useful.
And I think, well, we should be careful. I don't want you turning into stone, darling. I like your flesh a little too much.
Elfgiva is momentarily speechless.
We will, I guess, fade to black on the two of you discreetly disappearing into the back of the store, or perhaps not so discreetly.
Not so discreetly. We are teenagers.
Yeah, we are teenagers.
Cole, Tally, your
Hello.
timing is absolutely perfect.
Okay. I hope I didn't miss anything important. All right. Well, I probably did.
Just the usual from Umbra and Elfgiver.
Okay. Yes.
So, Tally and Cole, you arrive at Hale Satin.
Yes.
So as we're walking to Hale Satin, I wanted to talk with Telly just a little bit.
Sure.
So, Telly, I believe we're going to have an important conversation here.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I don't wish to speak ill of your friend or of my war leader, but obviously they're not going to be getting anything done today. So
yes,
if we are if this is going to be prevented, and I would like it to be prevented, these metalheads sound absolutely awful. It is going to come down to us.
It's beginning to seem that way. Yes.
So I've never made a secret of the fact that I despise and loathe you Mall Goths. I suppose, well, no, never mind. Doesn't really matter why, it doesn't matter. But I'm willing to put that aside for one day so that we can save this mall until we Visigoths can conquer it.
Fair enough.
All right. Do we need to sign an accord in blood? Is that what your people do, or is just spit on the hand fine?
I mean, blood doesn't make very good ink.
I know, right? All
Right.
these stories about
I never
signing,
understand that. It's just
I know it sinks into the parchment. It gets everywhere.
yes, and then it cakes up, and then it flakes off. Oh, it's a mess.
Exactly.
It's a mess.
Exactly. Just
And just try to get it out of your pen.
Yeah.
No,
and out of your leathers. Oh God,
Oh,
I can't
man.
even tell you.
No. I think we can. I think we can chalk it up to a gentle beings agreement.
Fine. I certainly do think of myself as a gentle being.
Good.
Excellent. So we're going to speak to the people at Hail Satan, yes?
Yes.
We were here back on Valentine's Day, and I think we left a good impression with the two people who worked there, so I think we should be fine.
I should hope so.
Yes.
We need to pick their brains, as it were.
Subtly, of course. We must make sure not to frighten them and let them know that there's possibly demonic fire giants around them all. That would not do.
I mean, to be truthful, subtlety has its limits, and if necessary, we can exceed them.
Yes, exactly. But that we must start with subtlety.
Sure.
Yes, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Good. We are of accord.
Speaking of which, did you wish to start?
Yes, I believe I will. I'm quite good at talking to people, so I'm told.
So you arrive right around this time at Hale Satin. You recognize Hemlock and Nocturne, the two staff members you've met before. They look at each other and roll their eyes as the two of you walk in. What do you do?
Hello, friends. First off, I wish to thank you. That bubble bath you sold me a little while ago was just absolutely the perfect thing.
The Nocturne nods. She cautiously accepts this. She says, "Well, what is it that you want this time?"
Well, honestly,
You haven't been in the shop for what, 8 months? Now you turn up. You're trying to flatter us.
It has been a while, and I'm sorry for that.
And you, Tally, what are you doing with one of them?
All right. I think it's time to lay this out. We have reason to believe that the metalheads are going to be doing something nefarious. By nefarious, I think it might involve, I mean, I don't want to necessarily jump the gun here, but summoning Satan?
Hemlock and Nocturne look at each other fairly dramatically, and then Nocturne turns back towards you and says, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. They seemed really interested in our demonic conjuration wall decals."
Right. Do you have any idea, like, if there's other components they might need that we might be able to, I mean, it's one thing to, like, play at summoning Satan. It's another thing to actually do it. And bear in mind, there has already been one major summoning that has happened in this mall. The concept of there being another portal, but this time one to hell, that opens up is not entirely beyond the realm of probability.
Well, I mean, all time actually existed. I'm not quite convinced hell does. But yes, good point.
No, Hemlock looks pointedly at Cole and says, "Well, maybe another portal will get rid of some of the riffraff."
Oh, so I'm sorry. Did you want to leave? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can if you want to.
That was Hemlock, right? Okay. Boys. Oh, no, Nocturne is the boy. Sorry.
No, Hemlock is a boy.
Okay, then boys. Can we just try to deal with the problem at hand? Yep.
What is the problem at hand?
We would like to prevent the metalheads from summoning your weird, creepy Satan thing into this mall. So you said Satan summoning decals, wall decals. Had they been up to anything else? Did they maybe give you any idea where they were planning to do this?
Good question. Why don't you roll? Do you want to roll something to see if they can tell you anything? To see if you can interrogate some information out of them?
Yes. My 3 skills, if I recall, and I'm not looking at the character keeper right now, are play dead, hacking technology, and
Bite.
Bait.
Bite. You could bite them.
I would argue that bite is actually the closest to what I'm doing right now, which is I'm just like, okay, this is all confusing. Let's just cut to the chase.
Well, they're not as bad as Elfgiva, but they're not much better.
Or to put it another way, if an opportunity was presented, I'll bite.
I am so profoundly unpersuaded by this argument, but
that's
sure,
perfectly
go ahead.
Reasonable. No, that's perfectly reasonable. So,
do you want to just roll a straight 2d6?
I am fine with rolling just a straight 2d6. Assuming I can find my d6s.
Ooh, that's an 8 from me.
That is a 7.
Ooh.
Cole?
Cole, you can see that, Tally's trying to get some information out of Nocturne and Hemlock. Maybe it's because Tally's traveling with a Visigoth, but they're just not really being very helpful. Are you willing to help a Mall Goth?
Oh, it goes against everything in me, but yes, I think I have to. Besides, he's my crush. Maybe if I'm super helpful to him, you'll notice. Maybe
them, but yeah,
them. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will help out. That's the bad dancing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's a good 90s crush song?
Oh god.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Oh no!
Oh God, yes. So you are the wind beneath my
Are you
wings.
going to do bad interpretive dance to "Wind Beneath My Wings"?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh
And
wow.
I think on some level, I'm not doing this even to help Telly. I'm just doing it because the music starts playing and I have to move.
It thrills your spirit.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
That the bards are everywhere. It's amazing, and they always sound so wonderful and well tuned.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to gesture over at Cole and going, are you really that concerned about him?
The dancing. Oh my God.
Which I believe bumps me up to a 9, which is just enough.
Success. The
or
so
an 8, or above it.
definitely to a
9 or
success.
10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Nocturne will basically say, "Look, take him out. Get him out of here before he does more of that." And we'll look. I saw like Valhalla and Terrorizer hanging around Big Disc Energy. It looked like they were up to something. I don't know what, but maybe you can find something there. I don't know.
Got it. Thank you for the lead, and don't worry. I got a bubby who's got a birthday coming up, and I'm coming here for the present.
All right, I'll take that. It's not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Umbra and Elfgiver, towards the end of the late morning, you emerge from the shadowy back corner of a fetter worse than death. Do you want to? Is there anything else you want to do while you're in the shop? Did you want to pick up some of the Medusa Gorgonzola?
Talk. Wrapped carefully up in a cloth.
It's going to cost you $35 unless you want to try and steal it.
Yeah, all right. We call it raiding where I come from.
All right.
Stealing sounds petty. This is the closest thing they have to. I mean, just, stealing livestock here. This is made from livestock.
All right. Go ahead and roll to steal, to raid. Ooh.
That's a 5. Even with my skill. Huh?
Okay.
Oh no! How?
But you got
What did you roll?
A 4.
I was ready to embarrass myself.
Judith is sufficiently embarrassed by our PDA.
Yeah, I think Judith is determinedly not looking in your direction, and so it's relatively easy to fumble the cheese into your Mall Goth costume somewhere.
Yeah, because I think Umbra is like really pointedly like fixing their clothes. Like, oh, I'm such a mess.
Mm-hmm.
By thunder, this cheese smells like a mule, like a horse kicks.
Maybe that's
I
how.
thought I was going to sneeze and ruin the whole enterprise.
And then, do the two of you leave the store, or is there anything else that you want to do before you go?
Yeah, I think I can't think of anything unless there's something Elfgiver wants to do.
No, it does not appear that they spent any time here or profited by the wares here to for their right. So we had better go find information elsewhere.
And we look so carefully too. So I say as I
Yes.
take your hand.
We did. Clearly, there was nothing there to be found. And no one could say any better.
Do the four of you want to meet up in between shop visits, or
Yeah.
just
Oh, like at the
continue?
escalator, right? Like,
Yeah.
like maybe
The
we have a
food-
conversation as we're both like going into different directions.
Uh-huh. Yeah, or the food court or something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
I've got a Visigoth smoothie.
We are beginning to pass through lunchtime, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess we are.
So, and stopping the apocalypse is hungry work.
Absolutely.
So where shall we go for lunch?
Well, I was planning on getting something a little light. That chili in the morning always does me quite well.
I have to decide if I'm keeping kosher. Because if I'm not, it's going to be the crab bisque and if I'm not, I'm not. Right. No, I think Telly's still keeping kosher. Hamburger but no cheese.
Your people have rules about certain dietary requirements.
Don't yours?
Well, maybe. I never paid much attention to them, honestly. I mean, we always knew we weren't supposed to drink water that was green. That was more of a safety thing, really.
So you've been avoiding Mountain Dew then?
But
Oh,
there are
God, yes, I wouldn't go anywhere near that stuff. Are you kidding me? I've seen what the people who drink it look like. Ugh. No offense, Umbra.
What? Huh?
Nothing.
And I'm
Never
just
mind.
looking at Elgiva again.
we could always go to Lemon Theodosius.
Oh, I love lemons.
I do rather like their wraps. It's so hard to get good goat and lemon in the same wrap.
So
That's what I've heard.
Are you allowed to have goat?
Did you discover?
I'm allowed to have goat. Yes.
Did you discover anything in your foray into the netherworld?
Yes, something quite horrible. Apparently, one of these metalheads is named Valhalla. Disgusting.
That's
And
wholly inappropriate.
Exactly. The other one's apparently called Terrorizer or something. It's not very inventive.
oh, we heard of a terrorizer too that was attacking the cheese and screaming "Hail Satan"
That's
in
odd.
the wrong store.
Yes, should have been screaming that at the Hail Satin store. That would have made more sense.
No, but they were they seem to have a dislike for the cheese store.
Oh,
So we thought that it might prove a useful weapon against them.
oh, do you have cheese?
Yes, but I should dislike to bring it up. It's potent.
Ah, so usable as a weapon then? Yes.
Yes,
Excellent
yes,
thought, Walter.
it is. This is military grade cheese.
Ah, excellent. Leave it to you to find military grade war cheese, war leader.
More cheese.
War cheese.
Just by way of clarification, the cheese must be eaten to use as a weapon. It's +1 to stun when eaten, and the eater is turned to stone for 1 time slot. You get 2 uses for your chunk.
Fair enough. Still more cheese.
It's certainly a war cheese. What
Yeah,
is-
I'm gonna talk about Elkiva's prowess at raiding and shoplifting, and say, "Oh yeah, she was amazing. They didn't even suspect anything."
Well, yes, she is quite good at that. Do you remember the time Elfgiver, when we were back in the old days, and we were raiding that one village with the people with the blue faces. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. And the dogs with spots?
Yes, those were the ones. Yes. Oh, how much fun we had that day.
So as the day continues, are you going to continue in the same pairings? Do the four of you want to travel together now? Like, what's the plan?
Obviously, I'm headed to Big Disc Energy.
Right, what is that?
And apparently that is a big hangout place for these metalheads. So I wouldn't mind backup. In fact, I would kind of strongly request it.
And I say, of course, I'll give out and I will protect you. So we'll go with you, Tully. Don't worry about it.
My shield maiden and I will lay waste to them should they raise a finger against you.
All right. So all four Goths are going to head. Is that right? Sorry,
Yes.
Cole, I shouldn't speak for you.
Yes. Well, Cole goes there after he picks up his eyes off the floor because they rolled right out of his head.
So the four of you take your lunches towards Big Disc Energy, known for its unusually well-curated acid house section. And you see two staff working at the moment. Zamina, who is a 17-year-old gender-questioning bisexual, and Trevor, who is a 17-year-old white boy with parachute pants, candy bracelets, and a mushroom haircut.
That's quite a picture.
The store, I should mention, has a karaoke booth in the corner. What do you want to do?
Well, I think this is one of the first times I've been to this store, but Zamina has definitely caught my eye. So I immediately go over to the karaoke booth and choose something that's like, I attempt to be subtle.
Oh, no.
and choose some like, what? Are there lyrics to Acid House? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Oh, you know what? I choose like an old 1950s crooner, Blue Moon. Blue Moon.
Uh-huh.
And I attempt to win over Zamina with my singing of Blue Moon.
So it will cost you $5 to use the karaoke booth.
No problem.
But go ahead and roll to see if she's won over.
Can I say it's the same roll either way? But can I say this is specifically inspire religious acts?
Is there a particular religious act you are trying to inspire?
Well, we're trying to keep it PG-13. Trying to inspire the spirit of the holidays, the spirit of Halloween, the spirit of letting go of inhibitions and celebrating life. Okay,
sure. I mean, she certainly seems. I mean, I'm not sure how much Cole grasps of the concept of Halloween, but she has certainly grasped the spirit, at least in the sense that she is very well dressed.
Nice.
Her costume, which somehow is of all 5 Spice Girls, is amazingly detailed and realistic.
Nice.
So, like, each quintet is a separate Spice Girl.
Well, I was imagining her to have like 4 fake heads arranged around her own head. But,
that's even better.
You could be right as well.
That is somehow even hotter.
Terrifying.
Go ahead and roll.
All right. 2d6 plus 2.
Ooh.
I got an 8.
can I just say that the rule for a tie is that nothing changes, but the situation escalates dramatically and ridiculously.
Yes.
So it's open to you all to, like to any of you to embarrass yourselves and break this tie, or you can let the tie go and see what happens.
Let it go.
Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds fun to let it go.
All right. So I think that as you perform Blue Moon, Zavina, you begin to catch her attention. Trevor sort of sulkily complains about, boring old songs, something like that. As the song winds down, Zamina sort of starts walking over towards you. And that's when you notice, Cole, that all 4 of the metalheads have arrived in the store and are glaring at you menacingly.
Ooh.
You see Valhalla, Terrorizer, Daryl, and Den Glanzig all entering the store, sort of visibly sizing the 4 of you up. And they walk determinedly towards, unsurprisingly, the metal section of the store. What do you do?
As a bunny, Tully is going to scoot through and try to spy on them through the racks of discs.
All right. Why don't you roll for that?
Okay. I feel like I can conceal myself to some extent as a novelty stuffed animal. So I feel like play dead is an appropriate skill for this.
Yeah, I
that
buy
seems
that.
reasonable.
Yeah. Oh my god, my rolls continue to just be absolutely terrible.
So I got a 9.
Great. So you see Terrorizer walk over to the metal CD section, and he just begins to sort of pick out the CDs, disdainfully dismiss them as false metal, and just fling them across the room. Marilyn Manson. Dragon Force. Flings them. What is this? New metal. And continues on in that spirit. I'll come back to more that you see depending on what else happens. But I'll give her an Umbra. I wonder what the 2 of you are doing. Have you even noticed that the metalheads have arrived, or are you 2 otherwise occupied?
What do you think, Umbra?
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's so hard to get my eyes off of Given in her goth outfit. I think I at least... Oh, I kind of like the idea of Umbra continuing to be a bad friend and forgetting to keep an eye on Telly, even though they promised that they would protect Telly.
Yes. I think I'm showing Umbra how to block with a shield.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
So I have this spear, and we're in the easy listening aisle or something like that, and I'm showing her how to do shield blocks.
All right. Cole, you see...
So unless one of those CDs, bounces off my head or something like that, I'm not going to notice.
No, they're falling short. So Cole, Zamina has kind of walked towards you, but at the same time, you've noticed the metalheads arrive. You've noticed Tally looking quite vulnerable, hide out close to spy on them, and it's clear to you that Umbra and Elfgiver will not, of their own accord, even notice what's going on. What are you going to do?
All right. So many options. So we want to figure out what they're up to. Okay. They're not going to do that here. Now they're just causing trouble. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on the karaoke machine again.
Mm-hmm.
Cost me another $5.
It's a steep price.
It is. And I'm going to play Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Mm.
Not the Bonnie Ray version. If I can find a version that's not the Bonnie Ray version, I'll play that.
I didn't know there was another.
I don't know if there is either.
Okay.
Probably someone's covered it.
The famous Acid House remix of Total
The
Eclipse of
famous
the Heart.
Acid House remix. And then I take the microphone out, and I want to say, I don't know if it's the right time for technology, but it's a cordless microphone.
Sure.
Yeah. I come out and I actually start singing to Daryl. I start singing to Daryl. And my intention eventually is to get them to either leave and so Telly can follow them and be stealthy, or to start chasing me, in which case I will run and they'll chase me.
All right. Well, why don't you pick like a specific one of those things that you're trying to do, and then you can roll to see if it works.
I'm trying to get them to chase me out of the store. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
All right. We'll go ahead and roll for it.
All right. So at this point, I think it's persuade.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A 4.
Ooh, versus an 8 from the Mall Rat. So I think what happens is that Den Glanzig will push right past Daryl to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
Den is a bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
He's incredibly buff, wearing a mesh shirt to show off his pecs. And he just walks right up to you. He will slap the microphone. I'm not sure if he slaps it out of your hand or just sort of, away from your mouth. Right as the drop was about to hit in this Acid House remix of Total Eclipse of the Heart. And he says, "Get out of here before you have to pay the ultimate price."
I was just about to hit the really good part of the song. It's heartbreaking.
What is this Total? This is not a song. This is worse than false metal.
Oh, well, in that case, and I think he knocked the microphone out of the hand. I go over to the microphone and pick it up and I hand it to him
Tally, are you still just watching, just observing?
I will prepare myself to if I think Cole is in imminent threat of becoming a two-dimensional being, I will have I will leap with full bunny action and nibble the weakest part of any musclehead, which is of course his ankles. Because they've got so much weight up there that you just destabilize their stance and they fall crashing down.
Right.
Classic.
So does it seem like Cole is in such imminent need?
No, I mean that seems like a solid plan, but I don't think he's in immediate danger.
Okay.
Dan is more, threatening, sort of menacing, trying to intimidate Cole rather than.
If it looks like this is going to escalate to people's feelings getting hurt, then I've got some teeth.
Yeah, you're readying your action if this is D&D.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Elfgiver, I think that all this is enough to draw your attention. You realize something is going on. Do you and Umbra, bring Umbra over to see what's happening, or will you continue shield blocking, or will you take this as a convenient distraction to maybe advance the relationship a little?
I think that is the meanest thing a game master has ever said in any game I have ever been a part of.
Let me just say that last one didn't occur to me until you suggested it, but now. Jamie, what do you think?
I think
I think we notice, it's like, oh, because they're being all shouty around the microphone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think Umbra whirls around and says, ever since, you talked about the good old days and raiding other places with Cole, have there been other people that you like more than me, or?
Do you mean back in the 4th century, or no?
Oh no!
No, you're having a moment.
And Umbra just vanishes.
That was dramatic. So I think that we'll hopefully come back to Elfgiver and Umbra. Oh, here we go.
He keeps blinking, Diba.
Yeah.
I'm having the same. I'm having the same problem.
Okay, sorry, Matthew's also upset with me about the internet.
No, because it's not internet. It's StreamYard. Because it's flashing, but everything else is still working.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so back to my emotional. I think what it looks like is Umbra says, well, I don't know if I'm enough to keep your interest if I'm pillageable enough for you.
You are the most prized livestock I ever made off with. But you're a witch. I can't just steal you. A witch has to be wooed. She is a person of potence, someone to be sought out, to be quested for. Not an ordinary maiden or man to be stolen from a rival tribe.
I think at this point Trevor will sort of sidle over in his raver gear and say, is she bothering you, Umbra?
And I think there's this weird miscommunication where Umbra thinks that what Elfgiva is saying is that Umbra's not playing hard to get enough, right? And Umbra will just very coldly say, no, I was just leaving.
And stride away?
Yeah, I think so. Leaving Telly and everything.
What? I am not good enough for you? I will prove my worth. You! The big one!
Den Glanzig turns slowly towards you.
You imagine yourself to be a warrior? Or are you all pretend?
He does a double bicep pose. The scrawny little, what do you call yourselves? Visigoths! Come over here and say that.
Oh, I get the hell out of the way.
I certainly will.
He's walking over towards you chest first. What is Elfgiver planning to do to Den Glanzig?
You imagine yourself to be a fighter? Then I challenge you. The loser to admit that the other tribe is superior in every way.
Dan Glanzig will like think about this. Loser to admit. That is too many words. Are we gonna fight or what?
Yeah, we're gonna fight.
Yeah. All right. Roll. Go ahead and roll.
Where's my dice? That's a 9.
Nice. That's a 7 for Den Glanzig. So just so mark a hurt feeling.
Yep.
Yeah. Whatever word describes how your feelings are hurt, and then tell us how that plays out.
Lovelorn.
Oh, very, very right. And what happens to Dan Glanzig?
I take it out on him. I faint. I faint at his head, reverse the spear, and get him right between the legs.
Dan Glanzig falls to the ground, of course. His feelings are hurt. I think mostly embarrassed. Valhalla will walk over to him, sort of glaring at Elfgiver, help Den back to his feet. Come on, Den. We got what we were here for. And they start to leave. And Tally's not here.
I call coward on all of you.
Terrorizer will look back over his shoulder as he leaves. And he'll say, we'll say who's the coward when the Prince of Darkness rules this mall. And let's take another 10-minute break right here. All right. See you at 8 minutes past the hour. Right now, I'm feeling very sad that we don't have another session of this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to set up a makeup session, but I know scheduling is like
Yeah.
double work. So it's okay. But I would be open to trying to squeeze it in if ever.
Me too.
I love that Umbra has tried to set up, or like has set up, the classic like movie arc where the lovers, have a problem in the late second act.
Mhm.
So, Tally, what you saw right before the metalheads all left the store, unbeknownst to everyone else, as various kinds of conflict and terror went on, is that Terrorizer, deep in the metal CD section, pulled out something that he had previously hidden there, which was a huge leather-bound book named The Ritual Book for Summoning the Devil. And he put it in his backpack and left the store. Umbra, I think, has kind of like collected you on their way out of the store. Does that sound right?
Sure. Yeah.
And you
I'm
saw
gonna
that.
do the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm doing the bad teen friend thing of like now going to Telly to complain and talk about my broken heart and expect you to do the emotional labor making me feel better. But anyway, that's what Umbra's up to.
Right.
So, like, how is Umbra feeling about the relationship at the moment? Like, is this just Umbra feeling okay because they're playing hard to get, or is Umbra like worried about, like where are things at for Umbra?
Oh, I think Umbra's like catastrophizing. Like they're convinced, like, oh, I was too easy to get, and I'm not worthy of Elfgiva, and she's just been putting up with how uncool I am, and so like Umbra's like having a full on broken heart.
Tally?
So I mean I understand that the world is about to, or that the mall is about to be destroyed.
Basically the world.
Terrorizer, basically that terrorize. I mean, is there any part? I mean, we've never seen any part of the world outside the mall. How do we even know it exists? Basically that in synagogue. So, but it's clear that the more pressing matter is of course Umbra's emotional meltdown, and so I feel like now is the time for that most efficacious of remedies for all broken hearts, shopping. So I would know what their favorite store is. And that is clearly where we need to go next.
What is Umbra's favorite store?
Oh my gosh. Oh shoot, my laptop's having a hard time opening the. I remember, where haven't we gone to? Actually, I'll leave it up to you, Sally. I think you know Umbra well enough to know.
Okay.
What the store is.
Right. What is that one? You know what? I have a feeling that you secretly enjoy, or I have a feeling that you really like the Darkade.
Nice.
In particular, we can go this skee ball.
Nice.
Because I mean, we haven't done skee ball yet, so we have to.
Sure. All right. I will come back to you at the Darkade, but first of all, Cole and Elfgiva, what's happening for you? Elfgiva, how are you reacting to Umbra walking away, and now there's not really anyone for you to hit in particular?
Frustration, confusion. Cole, what is happening?
Well, good news, my war leader. It appears that Umbra has declared that she needs you to prove your love for her.
Sorry, just for everyone's benefit, Umbra's
There.
pronouns are they. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. My apologies. That Umbra has declared that you need to prove your love for them. And it seems to me that the best way to do that would be to stop the metalheads from burning down the mall.
I tried to call coward on them, but evidently they have no honor.
Oh, obviously they have absolutely no honor and no singing voice either. They're horrible. If we knew where they were going, we could head them off at the pass. Perhaps we could ask Zimnia or Trevor may know something about where they're going next. So I say we ask them.
Very well.
Perhaps
we should have some coin with them and having forced the ruffians to disperse from there.
Yes, indeed.
Stop.
Perhaps while I speak to them, would you like to listen to some of the Gregorian chants on one of their sample booths that may calm you and focus your mind on the task at hand?
I will assist them in getting their wares from the various corners of their place that these ruffians have placed them.
Excellent idea.
And I have an image here, by the way, of Gilpa, and I know that these things are in cases, but never mind. That she's picking them up on the tip of her spear, like little quoits, because they're CDs. So she ends up with a little stack of them around the handle of her spear.
Nice. Cole.
So I go to Zimnia. Zemena. I go to Zemena. I am sorry that you had to have those ruffians in your store. Obviously, they have no sense of taste or music or style or good manners, obviously.
I think Zemena will say, listen, I've told your friend before, no spears in the store.
Yes, I apologize. In my defense, there's absolutely no way on the god's earth I'm going to get it away from her. And I sort of give a little puppy smile, like, aren't I cute?
I think Zemena will return your smile just a little bit.
I apologize. I'm Cole. I know that your name is Zemena. I've heard it while I've been in here before, but I don't know if I've introduced myself.
Yeah, she smiles. She shakes your hand, or whatever sort of greeting is appropriate. Sorry, I forgot. I slipped my mind. Was Cole wearing a costume today?
No. Cole is dressed up. He's dressed very fancy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not in a costume, but he looks like he could be in a costume, as like a vampire or something. I
think Zemena will say, "Listen, I've seen you before. This is pretty much what you look like every day, but this is Halloween. I've got something for you right here." And she reaches behind the counter. She kind of rummages around down there, and she comes back and she pops a little Groucho Marx glasses, nose, and mustache right on your face. There's a brief, perhaps slightly lingering moment where her finger traces your cheek. And she says, "There, that's much better."
Is there a mirror?
Oh, sure. Or maybe Elfgiver sort of wanders over at this point and you can see yourself reflected in one of the CDs hanging on her spear.
Or leader, this kind person has given me a costume for the day. I think it makes me look quite dashing.
You are hardly recognizable.
I've always wanted to twirl a mustache. I've never quite been able to grow it. I hate to bring up our common enemy, the heads of metal again, but oh, here. They do seem to be on a tear today, and I do believe that they are planning something big. And well, I and my friend here, Alfgiver, we do sort of think of this mall as our home since we were ripped out of ours a year ago. But it appears that they picked up something that they left here. Do you remember when they were here before? Did they say anything about where they were going or what they were doing?
They mentioned something about a ritual in the Dark Age to summon Satan and destroy the wall.
There's absolutely like a cut back and forth, or cut back to Cole. Cole's just like, right, well, that would do it, wouldn't it?
To the Darkade, then.
Yes, indeed.
Here are your circular wares that have something to do with music, as I understand.
Thanks, but no spears next time, please.
How will I defend myself if I am attacked by giant worshippers?
I think there's just a look of befuddlement on her face, and she looks back and forth from Alfgiver to Cole a few times and says...
And Cole's just like...
Yeah, so she nods with some understanding of your point.
Oh, is there a Halloween event going on tonight, or nearby, or soon? I'm asking this to Zemina.
Zemina will tell you that she is planning to go to a Halloween party after the mall closes tonight. If you'd like to join me.
Absolutely. Will this be enough of a costume, or will I have to get some funny shoes?
Look, I think that she gestures to her many heads, have enough costume for the both of us, but make an effort. I'd appreciate it.
I will. Oh, and I lean over and I'm gonna say that Scary Spice is one of the fake heads.
Mm-hmm.
I lean over and give the Scary Spice head a bit of a peck on the cheek, and then turn around and walk away.
You hear her laugh lightly as you walk away. So I think that we cut to the Darkade. Lava lamps and blacklight posters beckon you towards the glow of many screens, many arcade machines, video games, things like that. The skee ball machine, of course. I imagine that the timing doesn't quite make sense, but the four of you arrive at about the same time. Each pair of goths entering from doors at the opposite end of the store, so you see each other. There's eye contact as you all arrive. Obviously the Mall Goths know this place. It's one of Umbra's favourite spots in the mall. Normally there's not dark satanic chanting, but you definitely hear that as you enter now. The skee ball machine seems to have been transformed into some kind of ritual altar. And what you've all noticed on your way to the Darkade is that the mall throughout smells quite strongly of petrol, of gasoline that's been splashed around willy-nilly. The Darkade itself doesn't have that petrol smell, but there are a large number of candles, big black and red candles alight on the skee ball machine. And you see, as you enter, that Terrorizer is beginning to read some strange old language from the ritual book for summoning the devil. But Umbra and Elfgiver, you also make eye contact across the store. What do you all want to do?
I think Umbra pointedly breaks the contact with Elgiva and looks towards Telly instead, and says, "We have to take care of this. We can only count on ourselves."
I'm looking at the skee ball. I mean, from the mall image, it's the one skee ball machine in the mall that has been turned into this sacrilege. This is a bridge too far. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. They have taken our ancient entertainment and defiled it.
Do you mean that Visigoths invented skee ball?
Of course, they invented skee ball.
Okay, so
I'm going to pick up a stray skee ball and
so I'm going
kind of toss it gently in one hand.
Oh, okay. Well,
thinking yes.
All right, Tally, what are you doing?
All right, so I am thinking, because a lot is going on. Is one of the folks staffing here still here?
Oh yeah. You recognize Thaco?
Okay. But is Thaco somewhat preoccupied by this whole sequence of events, I trust?
No, Thaco is just dealing with some jammed coins in the I don't know what a mid-90s video game would have been. Mortal Kombat machine, maybe?
Sure. I was thinking of grabbing I briefly read the book description for this location. So I was considering grabbing those 60 or those 600 tickets, and then using my bunny ear power to get the boombox for half off. Because clearly, if there's going to be a contest here, the only way to really resolve it is to play our music louder.
Wow.
And I can hack that boombox.
This is an amazing combination of... This is a level of power gaming that I don't think Visigoths versus Mall Goths has seen before. I live. So all of that absolutely happens.
So I'm going to so that's what I'm doing in the background.
All right. I will come. We'll come back to you.
Yes, by all means.
Cole and Elgiva, what do? You see that Tally has sort of abandoned Umbra a little bit. Is running around wildly, getting tickets, exchanging tickets, putting bunny ears on. Not really clear what's going on with all that. What are the two of you going to do?
War leader.
We need a counterspell.
Yes, and I know exactly how to come up with the counterspell, but I will need time. You'll
need Umbra's help too.
Yes, you should perhaps go to Umbra and make sure that they are all right.
I tried over to Umbra and I say, no time for hurt feelings. We need a counterspell.
And then
before they can complete their unclean ritual.
Well, Elgiva does that.
And defile the classic game of skill that we invented so long ago.
While Elgiva is doing that, I am running and trying to find the lost and found.
Okay.
I am looking for a costume, and I am looking for pen and paper. I want to use my special once-a-day ability to write a forged note. But instead of a note, I want it to look like it's a page that's been missing from a book.
Oh, very good.
Oh, yeah.
So I think at this point, there's an intense sound as the dimensional veil is rent, and a glowing portal manifests above the skee ball machine. You can all tell that it is only a matter of time before whatever is on the other side of that portal passes through into our world. Umbra, what do you say to Elfgiver?
I say, I'll prove to you that I'm worthy, that I'm the most powerful witch that you will ever meet, I say. And I spread my arms wide, and I'm going to call upon all of the ghosts in the nearby area to try to overwhelm the veil and keep it closed. And I'm going to use Haunt to do that.
All right. Let's resolve some of these things. So I think let's start with Tally, who is hacking the electronics to play what Mall Goth music to drown out the metalheads.
I mean, so I've been going through this. My personal knowledge of goth or 90s music is pretty limited. So I welcome suggestions in terms of that. As is, I was considering the chicken dance. Because nothing screws up a ritual like the chicken dance. But in general, I feel like I could pretty handily put any kind of polka into there and just cause a whole big mess. Alternatively, I'm just hard pressed to think of a goth song that wouldn't make the ritual more potent. You know what I mean?
Unless it was Weird Al's Alice Cooper medley. Yeah.
I love the chicken dance. I think that is a great choice.
Sure.
All right. Very good then. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll to see whether you successfully drown out the true metal that is blaring through the speakers now with the chicken dance.
All right. So I believe I get a +2 because of my hack technology, right?
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alas, I only get a 6.
Oh, I'm just rolling. I'll see how this goes. That is just a 4. So, everyone, the chicken dance blares through the speaker. The portal that had began to manifest sort of ripples. You see it, it's losing its hold on our reality. The clawed fingers of a giant red hand that had begun to emerge, sort of withdraw. They fade a little. It's not clear whether you can really see anything there at all. Tally or Mendel, can you check for me the exact duration of the chicken dance, just so we know how long you have to save the world or the mall?
Okay.
And while you're doing that, Cole, tell me about the forgery.
So the forgery is meant to look like a missing page from the book that they're using.
Mm-hmm.
And it's meant to say that there's a very important part of the ritual if you want to summon the actual Satan. If you don't follow it, then what you will summon is a false Satan.
Mm-hmm. What is this part of the ritual?
This part of the ritual involves the spilling of like.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I know where my brain went, and I don't think it's appropriate for this game. But
no. If this were actual Visigoth thing, it would be like, okay, you have to roll in dung, or
roll in dung, or
there is a
sect of Satanism that believes that homosexuality is the ultimate act of summoning Satan. So, but oh no, you have to make out with another man for 5 minutes. That is the part of the ritual. If you don't do that part of the ritual, then you're summoning a false Satan.
They might like it.
They are. Okay. I mean, as long as it distracts them, I guess it doesn't matter.
No,
so how
when
do you
sorry.
Go on.
When I search for chicken dance duration, I get a discussion about how the chicken dance was played for 3 hours in a children's hospital for some fundraiser. But I probably don't have that version. I mean, personally, having played the chicken dance, it goes as long as people want it to because it's a repetitive song. But in practice, the YouTube videos are about 3 minutes, like 2.5 to 3 minutes.
All right.
So I probably have that kind of version of it.
Yeah. Oh, no. All right. Well, I'm glad that Mendel got to tell us that important information before he vanished. Cole, how will, like, so they will, what I understand is that they will believe that this forgery is real if they see it. But how are you going to present it to them? Like, how are you going to...
So my plan is to go into the lost and find as many red clothes as I can. Ideally all sort of matching, but we'll see. And basically show up and speak with like an old Germanic accent, like and try and pass myself off as like a lower underling of Satan that's here to like, you've missed a part of the book, my twisted children. Here.
All right. So I think that you do find a suitable outfit. I don't know if this reference will work for anyone, but I think that you look exactly like Rosé on the runway in last week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. An incredible outfit if you haven't seen it.
I haven't, but I'm absolutely going with that.
Deeply demonic.
Perfect.
Go ahead and roll to see if you are able to convince them you are in fact an underling of the devil.
So again, it's the same as persuade, but I do want to roll inspire religious acts.
Sure. Yeah, that clearly makes sense.
That's a 10.
Ooh. Let's see how the metalheads do. I can't imagine they're going to beat that. Oh, a 9. That was
close. Come. My twisted children.
Yeah. So Valhalla is very excited to see you. She's like, I told you. Look, the devil sent his... What are you exactly?
Let us say I am... well, when the devil is too busy and death's a bit too much, they call on me by name, you see, for my special touch. You have done well, my twisted children, but you are missing a very important part of the ritual. For you see, there are many, many false, dark gods out there. But
Terrorizer objects very strongly. No, I've read, I've researched, I've done everything. We are summoning the devil right now.
You speak loudly because you are afraid. Deep down, you know you are not worthy.
Whoa, what?
I'll turn to Valhalla, but you, my child, you recognize true evil. Come, give this to your friend and see what he will make of it.
So, Terrorizer looks at the page and immediately is convinced, that's how it works, is persuaded. And you see his face light up with delight. And he turns to Den Glanzig and he says, Den, there's just one extra thing that we have to do. Come take a look at this. And we'll leave Terrorizer and Den Glanzig sorting that out for a minute. But Umbra, your friends, first Telly has weakened the portal. Now Cole has distracted them long enough for you to cast your spell. I just want to check though, Elfgiver, I worry that you have no part yet, particularly in this saving of the mall.
I have something. I have something.
Okay.
Not to worry. It goes right with Umbra's thing.
All right, so you'll let me know when you're ready, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Umbra, now is the time to see if you can seal that portal.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use my physical dice, which are appropriately the original demon dice D&D set. So,
Oh, nice.
Are you summoning the spirits?
yes, I'm summoning all of the angry spirits and ghosts.
Okay.
Within like in the immediate area and several blocks, I think. That is a 5 plus 4 plus 2. I can do math, right? That's like a 8, 9, 10, 11.
It's more than my 9. So tell us what it looks like.
I think it's like a full-on Ghostbusters moment where, like, you know, the ectoplasm starts to come off of the walls and everything turns dark, and like all of the spirits like rush through the walls and like move in, like trying to drown out towards the veil, trying to completely push it back, or at least buy time.
And then Elgiva says, "Iritspe unto a ime umke," and one of the spirits, and she holds up her hands, and one of the spirits goes right into her.
Oh wow!
And spirit possesses her, and she starts to glow. And the spirit takes up the skee ball, whirls it around twice underhand, and pitches it straight into the center of the right up the ramp and straight into the 100 mark in the middle of the vortex portal that is opened.
Well, I think Elfgiver needs to roll for that.
That is an 8.
Let's see. I roll for the skee ball machine. It is I don't know if bullseye is the word, but you have succeeded. The eldritch energy ripples out from the center of the skee ball machine. It erases the portal as if, wiped from our reality. There's a howl of arcane pain as Satan himself is dragged back deeper into hell. Ectoplasm oozes down all the walls, sprays across everyone in the scene, especially the metalheads. They are just drowned in this gross green slime. Valhalla bedraggled, Daryl bedraggled, Terrorizer and Den Glanzig bedraggled, but not really noticing because they are so furiously making out. And I think at this point we will just turn to epilogues, or to just going to ask you each what happens next. So let's just left to right across the character keeper again. Tally, what happens after this for Tally?
All right. So I think Telly will. Oh man, I'm not sure.
Well, can I propose a scene?
Sure.
Before we get to epilogues per se, let me just let Jamie back in. So I think before we get your actual epilogues, there is a brief montage that shows how the four of you are received and revered as heroes of the mall, how goths of all kind and even normie patrons recognize you as the mall's saviors. There is a ceremony where the four of you are handed symbolically the key to the mall. Whether this represents a true reconciliation between the warring goth factions, or just just the end of today's episode that will be wiped away when the next episode starts, we can say. But for now, just a beautiful moment of harmony and celebration.
And a discount.
Mendel, do you want some more time, or are you ready to go with an epilogue?
No, I think that's good. I think that that Telly is going to I think that the epilogue with Telly is going to be a shot of them helping Floppy Joe install the next new set of computers in the right, well, Floppy Joe's obviously.
Yeah.
So and just sort of like being that Telly has a part-time job now, but still gets to hang out with the Goths. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Elf Giver, what is the epilogue for you?
I accept that you are no ordinary witch. Do you accept that I am no ordinary warrior?
And I think Umbra nods shyly and says, I know that you're the best warrior.
Well, with your magic and my bravery, we will conquer the world. One store at a time.
Umbra, does that serve as your epilogue as well, or do you want a scene?
I think I'll just say that Umbra nods and we see that they've been hiding something in their hands and they put it back in their bag, but it looks suspiciously like a box for a ring.
Oh.
And Umbra just says, right, so conquest first, and then we'll see what happens.
Amazing. And what's Cole's epilogue?
So Cole's epilogue is he goes to the Halloween party in the rosé outfit and the Groucho Marx glasses. Splashes of slime included. He somehow manages to pull it all off. And he's obviously having a really good time there. He's hanging out with Zemina and several other people that are coming that are hanging out and having fun. And he seems to be having enjoying the life of the party. And then Zemina's like, "Oh, I have somebody you should meet. I think you'll really like him." And she goes away for a second and then comes back and is dragging a large hairy person in a werewolf costume, which takes a second for us to realize it's Fritz. And there's very definitely a sort of awkward moment of all three of them standing around going, oh.
I love that as an ending. So thanks very much, everyone. I don't really think that I'm going to be able to schedule another session of this. My schedule for the next couple of months is pretty dense. But I've had an awesome time playing this. I really enjoyed playing with you all. I'd love to do a round of stars and wishes. I still am not really clear on what wishes mean in the last session of a series. You're welcome to go with just stars. You're welcome to mention a wish if you have one, or just whatever works for you. Let's go just back right to left across the character keeper order. So, Joe, do you want to lead off?
Yes, absolutely. Stars to everyone. Stars to Mendel. Mendel, the energy that you bring to Telly is just so unique in this group of unique people. Your unique energy, like I keep being afraid that you're going to get lost, and then you don't, and it's really good. Brandon and Jamie. I keep forgetting that I'm playing a teenager, and that's on me.
Oh no!
But you two always remind me. Like just the whole leaning into the romance thing was so perfect. Shane, I meant it when I said that's probably the meanest thing a DM has ever said. Hey, do you want to further the plot, or do you want to, continue to be horny teenagers? So yes, star for that. That was wonderful.
Thank you. That is surely the best compliment that I've ever received as a DM. As a mole rat. So, Jamie, you're next.
Yeah, before my internet loses track of StreamYard again. Yeah, so big stars to Shane. I just thought it was so funny when you made Elf give a roll about the drool. I don't know, that was just really nice. I've been trying to type it for the Slack and I can't come up with the words, but it was just, and then also asking outright, do you want to do this or that or this or move the relationship forward? Just really good stuff. But Shane, also big stars. You rolled higher twice today. I think that's more than. And you were really close a lot of times. So
that's just patronizing.
No, but it was scary. I was like, oh no, Shane's rolling has been improving. And I was so impressed with what Mendo came up with combining the power gaming moment, right? That was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. And it felt really in line with the game too. And I really like seeing Cole's really strange love life unfolding between sessions. That's really fun. But also really big stars to Brandon. I felt super comfortable playing out this romance with you. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely a highlight. I super, super love it. I'm gonna miss these characters. But yeah, I had such a good time. So my only wish is a selfish one. I wish we had more sessions, but I'm super happy with what we have too.
Thanks. Brandon.
For my part, yeah, no, I really enjoyed everything. Shane, the yes, that moment where you said, okay, well, do you want to do this thing, which would, or do you want to do this, or do you want to ignore all that and just leave everybody else high and dry while you have a number? And it's like, oh, I wouldn't have, that last one would not have occurred to me, but now that you said it, I have to take it. Yes. I love the ending where everyone combined their particular abilities to seal the portal. I loved the rampant bunny energy and the attempt to turn biting into a social skill. I always thought that it really is. And Joe's the relentless attempts to schmooze everyone in the mall, notwithstanding the complete lack of support that they're getting. And Jamie, thank you so much. I absolutely agree. It was wonderful fun to play opposite you, and I felt like we were on the same page. So thanks, everyone.
And Mendel.
So I just felt like so many of the relationships in this game have been just incredibly heartwarming, and just super. I mean, there nary a bit of actual angst, as it were. Which for a game that has goth not once but twice in the title is a feat, no less. So no, I love the relationship between Umbra and Elfgiva. Yeah, I like Cole's kind of awkwardness, but then determined not to be awkward, and then definitely being awkward about it. And yeah, and